What's up, guys? It's Ryan Chapman here, one half of Sideline. Warning, today the Oklahoma City Energy had their first practice since all the COVID madness began. So before we hop into that, we've got the complete thoughts and comments from staff, players, all that. But real quick, if you would, hit the like button, subscribe real quick. Takes you about 10 seconds, and it really, really helps us out, keeps us going while we try to continue to churn out this energy content for you guys. Thank you, and hope you enjoyed what everyone had to say.
Well, from the coach's perspective, it's bizarre how the players keep using the word weird.
Yeah.
How would you describe the first day out here?
A little strange, just in the sense that, you know, you're having to take the precautions that you are, and you're constantly thinking about it, and your mask starts to slip down your face, as mine is doing now, and you keep adjusting it, or those types of things. So it's a little different, but I think the optimism and the happiness outweighs the, hey, we got to have these on our face.
The process of trying to coach at a distance, that's got to be something that's new for you.
It is, because anybody that's worked with me in the past will tell you I'm a pretty intimate person. I'm a touchy-feely guy. I get my arms and hands in there all the time. But we've got to adjust. We've got to do the right things by the players and the people around us. So we'll do everything we have to minimize the risk and to make sure that we maximize efficiency at the same time.
What has stood out to you about your team during the last 2 months dealing with this, and now seeing them being able to get out here today?
The biggest thing that's become clear to me is that we've picked the right characters. We've picked the right type of people. And that's really what you need, because you don't expect this type of stress in a season, but you know you're going to have stress and problems and crisis in the middle of any season. It doesn't matter how well it's going. And we hope that we would pick a group that would be able to deal with that. This has certainly been a wrench in everybody's season, and they've been unbelievable in dealing with it.
This is obviously a step in the right direction, but it's no guarantee of what's to come as far as the season goes in the future. What's that like for you to kind of still be back, but not fully back, still in this limbo of maybe playing games, what that looks like and all that?
It's like I've told the players, it's like every other day in our business. You really never know when you're going to be back. You don't know when the coach is going to release you. I never knew when I was going to be released. You never know when you're going to get let go as a coach. Every day could be your last day, so treat it as such. Cherish it as such, and that's the message we've given the players, and that's what I think they've taken out of here today, to kind of see the enthusiasm in the building. So it's great.
What's the discussion been like as far as, if the games resume and they're fanless, or I know we talked previously about the situations that could arise.
Yep.
But what's the discussion been like from the guys? Is it, I'm sure it's just getting back to play, but what have you been hearing from them as far as that feeling of playing in front of an empty stadium?
Well, everybody's a little unsure of how it's going to feel, because it's an unknown. Very few people have had that experience of playing in an empty stadium. So that piece is going to be different. And I think everybody's still concerned, is it going to go smoothly enough that we keep everyone safe and we can continue to make progressions to having small groups, then eventually the team training, and then eventually having games. So it's a step-by-step process, and we've all got to cooperate in it.
What stood out to you today with the guys? Just seeing them, because you haven't really been able to see, and this kind of is a telltale of who's really been working out, things like that. So what stood out to you today?
They all look fairly fit. The thing was really the eagerness. Like, you try to start the warm-up kind of slowly, and then you build into the session, and you build into where there's a peak, and then you kind of cool down at the end. These guys were raring to go from the beginning, so the warm-up was a little faster paced and went a little more quickly than we thought it would. But it's good to see that they're that eager and they want to be out here.
Any of the players throughout this entire time, before you guys were able to get back out here, anybody have any hesitation in getting back out, or was it more, I've heard it's more just, let's get back out there as soon as possible. Any hesitation from any of the guys?
It's been a little bit of both, and to be fair, I think there's been hesitation from every single player and every single coach as well, which is why we're out here now, and we didn't start a couple days ago. We wanted to make sure we had every process in place where we felt like we're starting on the right foot. Now, we may need to make adjustments. We may find that there are things that didn't go well today as we review it. Same thing tomorrow. But we took our time to go through this, and I think it's run very smooth today.
Assuming you're able to keep building, how long do you need before you guys are ready to get back to actual games?
In my opinion, and this would come from the start of when you have a full group in front of you, you would need an absolute minimum of 3 weeks, maybe 4. And I say that simply because you've got to start to build their bodies up for 90-minute matches. So you don't start off by playing a 90-minute match, and you go through 3 or 4 of those. It's 45 minutes maybe. maybe 60 minutes and 75 minutes, then 90 to, again, you have to consider Corona, and you've got to protect them from that, but you've also got to protect them from the injuries of coming back too quickly and too soon. So we've got to keep all of that in mind while we're putting this program together.
All right, first day back. How was it?
It was good. I think it was better just to be back on the field and to see some familiar faces, albeit with masks on. It's going to be a slow process working into the soccer part of it, but just getting back on the field, putting cleats on, gloves on, and kicking a ball was great.
So how long do you think it'll take you guys? Obviously for the goalkeepers it might be a little bit different than the outfield players, but how long do you need to get back in to feel where you need to be to start the games again?
It depends. Some days you in preseason you come out, you have a good day and you think I'll be 100% in a week. Other days you come in and you feel like you can't save anything and you think you're never going to be able to get back to top form. But I don't know. I think our strategy now is take it day by day and slowly increase the workload and the difficulty and our work rate, and see where we are week by week and take it from there.
So obviously things are a little different with the league guidelines and distancing stuff. Feel safe out here? Feel fine with all that stuff?
Yeah, it's such a personal thing. I mean, we've all got to do our part, and we've all got to be aware and cognizant of what's going on. I think we're taking good precautions. I've taken off my mask here just for a second so I can talk in the interview. But in and out, we're wearing masks. We're getting our temperature taken. I've been going to the hospital recently for my daughter, and they're doing the exact same things here at the Energy that the hospital's doing. So as far as that goes, I think that's a good sign to me that we're doing the right things.
And then speaking of it, congratulations. How has becoming a father been during this, unnormal set of circumstances?
Yeah, I don't have anything to compare it to because this is my first child, and I'm just over the moon. And it's obviously a weird time. It's a weird time for everybody, but just bringing a human into this world is incredible, and I really can't describe it. It's something that people tell you can't describe, and you're waiting on that moment, and you're like, I know what I'll be able to say and what I'll be able to feel, but expressing that in words is like, it's very difficult. It's amazing.
How do you think the cats at home are going to handle things?
I don't know how the cat's going to feel. She's been number one for quite a while, and I think she's dropped down to number 2. So we've been bringing some baby clothes home from the hospital to get her to smell it. I don't know. She seems to like laying in the baby's crib. We do our best to keep her out of there. She lays in the stroller. We do our best to get her out of there too. But it's going to be a rude awakening for the cat, I think, when we bring Charlotte home.
So not to bring it down one more time, but when games get started again, would you feel safe in an environment where spectators are let in, or do you think it's going to have to be a closed door situation for a while?
For me personally, it's tough for me to say. I've got to put myself in the shoe of a fan, and I think it's okay that that's a personal opinion for everybody. I think for some people it's going to be going to games and getting back out there and having the experience. For other people it may take a little bit longer. They may want more precautions. What that looks like on a person-to-person basis, I can't say. But for me, if the league and our club are taking the appropriate precautions and doing everything in our power, and other leagues are starting up, businesses are starting up, I think we can kind of follow that suit and kind of get things going, albeit at a reasonable pace.
What's it like getting back out on the pitch after not being able to do it for over 2 months?
It feels amazing. Even though it's a small step, it feels like definitely a step in the right direction. And I know me and all my teammates have been really looking forward to it, so it felt pretty good.
How do you feel this helped grow you guys as a team unit, maybe in this time, away from each other?
Yeah, I think with what's going on, it puts things in perspective. Also, I'm from New York, so I feel pretty lucky to be here right now in one of the least hit areas of the country. So, but it's also just being sympathetic towards the people who are worried. We're all in different situations. Some of us have families, some of us have newborns. So we've all just kind of bonded together over the sense that safety comes first, and that when we do get back to playing and doing what we love, it'll be massive for all of us. But we need to make sure that we're safe first.
What was the biggest key for you as far as the at-home workouts go, or just being able to keep yourself in some kind of shape leading up to being able to finally get back out today and back at it?
Yeah, it's been an everyday process. Being that we have a lot of time on our hands throughout these past 2.5 months, every single day we've had team workouts, we've had team meetings, and the staff has done a great job of making sure that everybody's still in tune as to why we're all here in the first place. So yeah, it's been a process, but overall I think we've handled it as well as we could have.
You mentioned how you are from New York. Did you have anybody directly related to you or that you know that was impacted by it, with it being such a hot spot there?
Yeah, I do. I knew there was multiple people who I know were affected by it. Thankfully, everybody's doing well that I did know. You know, and everybody's doing everything they can over there to stay safe. So very thankful for that.
Have you thought about what the atmosphere would be like to play a game in a fanless stadium and how that'll feel? I mean, obviously it would be nice to compete again, but I guess have you put much thought into that?
Yeah, we have. We've all thought of it. I think first and foremost, we just want to play, and that's been the overreaching message from all of us. We want to get back on the field, and we understand that. Of course, we want the fans out there, but we understand the climate of what everything is right now, and you know, if we have to get back on the field and there's no fans, we would take that and not playing for sure.
What's it like going through all the extra steps? Sound like you kind of forgot, you're a little frustrated. Just what is that like dealing with all that?
It's very new. To be fair, last night we had a debrief with the whole club, and we kind of got a walkthrough of what it was going to be like. So we were pretty prepared, I would say. But still, when I got here today, at least I can say that it was definitely very new, and it felt a little strange. But I think it went pretty well.
Was it a little eerie being so spread out that way?
Yeah, it was. No ways around it. It was definitely a little weird.
What's it like, especially a sport like this, practicing with a mask on and just having that, I guess, kind of on your face as kind of a restricted thing, or what was that just like practicing with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. You know, there's no ways around it, but it just feels good to be back out here running around, touching the ball. Even though we're distanced from each other, it's nice to be on the same field. But it just, again, it feels like we're getting a little bit closer, even though we might still be far away, but it feels like we're getting a little bit closer every day.
In this time away, you know, this is a time of year you guys are used to traveling so much, but in this time away, did you learn something about yourself, or do you guys feel like you kind of learned something new or have a different appreciation coming in to the season now?
Absolutely. I think we all are very aware that this is a privilege to be able to do what we do for a living, and obviously with us not being an essential business during this time, we got to sit back and really see how many people were truly affected. And while it's not ideal that we can't play and can't train, I think there's bigger things than sports right now. So we're all very cognizant of that, and we just wanna do our part so that when we do get back to normal, we can hit the ground running.
Arun, obviously unprecedented circumstances, but have you ever had any situation throughout your career where you have to essentially have a second preseason before you get back into things?
No, never. Not at all. So that will be definitely a new one, because we spent almost 2 months together leading up to the season. We had the first game, and then all of this happened. So definitely strange, but I guess we'll deal with it.
Do you think it'll be an advantage, seeing as you guys had a new coaching staff and so many new players coming in? Maybe you don't have to have that 10-game start of the season where you're still filling each other out, having this extra however long it is to get back into things?
Yeah, I think it definitely can help. I don't think you can really replicate the training on the field just through video and talking, but again, as we talked about before, I think we've all got a little bit closer throughout all this, and I think the camaraderie can definitely help us in a positive way when we do come back.
All right, Cody, first day out, how'd you feel back with everybody?
Yeah, it was good. Again, this is the new normal, so we're trying to adjust as best as we possibly can, but we're all professional in our mentality, so we work with what we're given.
And so for you, this is a little bit different, because while you were rehabbing your injury at the start of the year, you were actually able to come out here a few times just to rehab it. So
Correct.
How has it been like? You've experienced it when there's absolutely no one here versus being able to do the distancing thing.
Right.
Has that helped you kind of acclimate to the new normal more than other guys maybe?
Yeah, I think, again, the structure of waking up every morning and the unfortunate side is that you have an injury, but then the fortunate side is you can actually have this structure to your day where you can go and get, incrementally stronger, incrementally better. So yeah, I have been here working one-on-one, safe distance, right, with our training staff, trainer, I should say. So it's been normal as it can possibly be, but this is an added aspect it's a welcome change of scenery, if you will.
So how hard is it for you guys? Is this the first time you've seen a lot of the guys face to face since the last training about 2 months ago?
Yeah, everything is kind of like we spoke about off camera about. It has been Zoom oriented or FaceTime oriented. So, yeah.
So like, how hard is it? You know, you're supposed to keep your 6 feet,
right?
But it's your teammates, it's your guys that you go to battle with.
It's a team sport. It's weird,
yeah.
huh? Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's not tennis or golf where, you could be out there individually. It's just something that we are cognizant of and do our best while we are training and working to get one another, not just ourselves, better, that we just have to keep in mind.
So how long do you think, obviously for a goalkeeper it might be a little bit different than an outfield player,
yeah,
but you've had 2 months off essentially.
Yep.
How long is it going to take to get back into where you feel confident to start playing games again?
Yeah, that sharpness takes it takes time. It's going to take time because the speed of play, the speed of shot, the difference in player to player when it comes to their finishing abilities, right, picking up the ball, is something that takes time. But this is going to be a process, and I fully expect us to be able to, in time, build up to being able to get back to full sharpness.
Now, at training, obviously a pretty controlled environment.
Yeah.
Once we start talking about the prospect of games,
yes,
what would it take for you guys to feel safe on a game day? Is it just as simple as you're going to have to do empty stadium or limited fan? Like, what to you sounds like an environment that you would feel safe to go play in?
That's a very good question. My personal feelings are the supporters are a massive aspect of the game, and the supporters drive a lot of the emotion from us as players. We're all self-starting individuals. We're all intrinsically motivated, but playing in empty stadiums, there is an aspect that gets taken away from that game day experience.
Thanks again for tuning in. We look to do this with every single press availability that we'll have before every game, and as we continue to try to build into having a season back. So once again, subscribe to the channel, and it will, if you hit that little bell, it will alert you every time we have something new, which is most likely going to be tons of player and coach reactions for you guys. For Christine Butterfield, I am Ryan Chapman, and we are Sideline Morning. We will see you next time.